Hello, I'm John, your Movie Man, and I'm back. And today we're talking about a new film that came out on Friday. It's exciting, isn't it? It is. Today we're going to be talking about Spirited. Obviously, I don't have a physical copy of this, mainly because it's not out on physical copies. This came out on Apple TV on Friday, so you couldn't even see this in the cinema, so it's a really good way to make money. That don't release your film in the cinema, you'll make heaps of money doing that. Good idea. Just get people to subscribe to your streaming service when everyone's like, I've already got Netflix and Prime Video, why would I want Apple TV as well? And then they decided to start making their own films to try and entice people to subscribe. Great, well done, good one. So if you do want to see Spirited, unfortunately you have to subscribe to Apple TV or find a friend who's subscribed to Apple TV and borrow their login. I don't know anyone who did that. So anyway, enough about subscribing to Apple TV. Spirited, eh? What's that? Can you say? So Spirited is this year's take on A Christmas Carol. I'm willing to bet there'll probably be another one next year, and there probably was one last year. It feels like every year they have to remake A Christmas Carol in some sort of way, and they're all pretty samey, right? Wrong. Okay, I saw Spirited thinking this film's going to be a bit poo. Surely it's just the Muppets Christmas Carol without the Muppets, but it wasn't. Well, there were Muppets in there because it was starring Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell, but all in all, besides the Muppets, it was still a pretty good take on the story. So it's not your obviously generic Christmas Carol tale. There's a little bit of a twist on it. One of the biggest twists in the film I found was the fact that Will Ferrell was playing a completely different character to who he normally plays in pretty much every film he's in. It was really nice to actually see him doing something completely different. Well done, Mr. Ferrell, you did really well. Ryan Reynolds, again, first time Ryan Reynolds has been in a musical, so it was a little bit strange to see him being in a musical that wasn't taking the piss out of musicals. It was very, very musical-esque. I tell you, the first half hour of this film, I literally had my hand in my face, just sitting there thinking, why am I watching this? This is going to be absolutely awful. And I get past that first 20 minutes and it's so good. At the beginning, it's got a very good beginning, which I won't talk about, and then it kind of, you're just like, oh, this is a musical, is it? Oh, it is. It is a musical, yeah, because they just don't stop singing for like the first 25 minutes, and you're like, okay. And then they dump down on the singing a little bit, which, to be fair, you can't complain. If you're watching a musical and they're singing in it, you shouldn't complain. And it is written by the guys who make The Greatest Showman, so again, you probably shouldn't complain, because The Greatest Showman was really good. You could definitely tell there was big influence from The Greatest Showman guys in this film, but that's not a problem, is it? Because, you know, people like The Greatest Showman, don't they? So watching this through Apple TV was an interesting experience. It's only the second time I've done it. The first time I watched a film called Cherry, which turned out to be really poo, but Spirited turned out to be really good. So 4K, I tell you what, you can watch this in 4K on Apple TV as well, and that was a really good 4K picture. I'll be very interested to see what that looks like on a physical disc, if it ever gets released onto a physical disc. I know that a lot of streaming services that release their own released films don't release them on physical discs, so they obviously aren't that interested in making money. So they've done really well with this film because they didn't put it in the cinema, so you'll make loads of money from that. It's a good idea, especially over Christmas. A Christmas film in the cinema at Christmas time, you fucking mental, right? Definitely not going to make any money over Christmas with a Christmas movie, and you're definitely not going to make any money if you don't release it on physical media. So quite why Apple TV are being like that, I don't know. Maybe they just really like being rude. Maybe they've taken some hints from Disney. I really enjoyed Spirited. Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds, Octavia Spencer. I'll tell you that. Octavia Spencer was a big surprise for me. First of all, I didn't know she was in it. Second of all, I didn't know she could sing. And thirdly, I didn't know that she was in Spirited. But she was really good. She had a really interesting character that was completely out of everything to do with the rest of the story, but it went really well. And the whole film was just a really good job. I thought it was a really good modern take on the story. It was, I couldn't tell you too much about it without ruining it, because obviously it is a Christmas Carol, and the things that make it different in this version are the things that probably would spoil it. So if you enjoy a good comedy and a good family Christmas film, then get on Spirited. It's absolutely brilliant, and you will never look at the phrase good afternoon in the same way ever again. So 2 thumbs up from me. Definitely worth seeing. Get onto Apple TV, or find someone that has an Apple TV subscription and watch it through them, or just subscribe for a free month and watch it and then cancel your subscription. That's what everyone did when Justice League came out on streaming only, so do that. Good idea, isn't it? Before I poo off, I just wanted to say an absolutely massive thank you to all of the subscribers that I've gained recently, and all of the views that I've gained recently. Some of those videos have got more views than I ever thought we'd ever get. I'd love to know what I'm doing that's so special about these videos that get loads of views, and what I'm doing that's so bad about these videos that don't get a lot, because I'd like to know what I'm doing right so I could do it more, obviously. But yeah, so a massive thank you to all the support we've had. Big thank you to Ken from Mid-Level Media. I wasn't expecting him to reply to my messages on Instagram, let alone subscribe to my channel, so that was a really exciting moment for me when he did that. So thanks, Ken, that's really nice. You're really nice and absolutely incredible. It was literally like talking to a celebrity for me. But anyway, I'm gonna go now. Thank you for watching again. If you could like this video, that'd be brilliant. If you could subscribe to the channel too, that'd be great as well. I'm gonna go now. See you on Wednesday. Okay, goodbye.